Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're dedicating our deep dive to something quite serious, a recent and, well, tragic event. We're talking about the plane crash in Russia's far eastern Amur region.
That's right.
And our goal, for you listening, is really to get past those initial headlines. We want to dig into the key facts. Our main source here is a news report. It's titled Amur Region Plane Crash, 49 Dead.
Yeah,
We want to understand, what makes this incident stand out.
exactly. And I think the key really is connecting some of those crucial details. It's not just, well, another headline. It's a specific set of circumstances that, for anyone watching aviation safety, really warrants a closer look.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's try and unpack this a bit. Our source confirms the aircraft involved was an Antonov An-24 turboprop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for you listening, especially if you follow aviation, you'll know this is a type of propeller-driven plane, often a real workhorse, used for regional flights, sometimes into more challenging airfields.
That's a good description. Rugged.
And the operator was Angara Airlines. The really devastating part is that all 49 people on board were killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's 43 passengers, and the report notes 5 of them were children, plus 6 crew members.
Yeah.
Just no survivors at all.
It's stark, a terrible human cost, like you say.
It really is.
And then there's the geographical side of things. I mean, that's quite striking here, too. The crash happened way out in Russia's far eastern Amur region.
Right.
Apparently, the plane just vanished from radar. It was on approach to its destination, a town called Tinda.
Tinda, okay.
Yeah, quite a remote place, apparently near the Chinese border. And the wreckage, well, it was eventually located on a mountainside, about 16 kilometers, so roughly 10 miles from Tinda Airport.
Wow. On a mountainside.
Yeah, it paints a pretty grim picture, doesn't it? Thinking about the terrain, the isolation, makes search and rescue incredibly difficult.
Definitely. And we know these details are confirmed, right? The regional governor, Vasily Orlov, has officially stated these facts.
Correct. That's confirmed.
But there's another detail in this report that, well, it really jumps out. The aircraft's age.
Ah,
It was nearly 50 years old. 50. Now, for someone like you listening in who knows about these things, does an age like that immediately sort of raise a flag? Or is it more complex when we talk about older planes, especially maybe this type, the An-24?
Well, it certainly grabs your attention, doesn't it? 50 years. Look, aircraft are absolutely built to last, but operating for 5 decades, well, that brings its own unique challenges, no question.
Okay.
The An-24, like you said, it's known for being tough, a workhorse. But regardless of the design, the age of any airframe impacts its maintenance needs significantly.
Right, wear and tear.
Exactly. Every single flight cycle, takeoff and landing, every hour it's in the air, it puts stress on the materials. So ensuring an aircraft like that, an old turboprop, is still airworthy. It requires incredibly rigorous inspection regimes, constant component replacement, especially perhaps for a type that's often flying in pretty remote, demanding areas.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then if we connect that point, the age, to the broader historical context that our source mentions, this incident, it marks Russia's first fatal commercial aviation accident since 2021.
Mm-hmm. Since 2021.
So when you put those two things together, a nearly 50-year-old plane and the first fatal commercial crash in, 3 or 4 years, what does that suggest? What are the immediate thoughts for aviation safety observers?
Yeah, this is where it gets particularly significant, I think. Age itself isn't automatically the direct cause, It's often more about the maintenance, the oversight related to that age.
How it's managed.
Precisely. At the timing of this, being the first fatal commercial one since 2021, it kind of shifts the focus, doesn't it? It moves it from maybe just an isolated tragic event to potentially raising systemic questions about Russia's aviation sector, perhaps.
Systemic questions, like what specifically?
Well, it prompts you to consider how consistently these, aging fleets are being maintained and monitored. Are the standards being rigorously applied everywhere? Especially given, potential pressures regional carriers might face, particularly in those remote areas we talked about. It just forces a deeper look.
A deeper look into the consistency of oversight, maybe.
Exactly. Into the continuous vigilance that's required. It's always required in aviation, but incidents like this bring it sharply back into focus.
Okay. So as we sort of wrap up our analysis here for today, we've unpacked the core facts of this really tragic incident, the Angara Airlines Antonov An-24 crash, the awful loss of all 49 people on board, and the specific circumstances, disappearing near that remote town, Tinda, in the Amur region.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, like we've been discussing, that detail about the aircraft being nearly 50 years old, and coupling that with the fact it's Russia's first fatal commercial aviation accident since 2021, well, it really does highlight the complexities, doesn't it?
Complexity.
Yeah, the complexities of aviation safety, especially when you're talking about older fleets operating in potentially challenging environments.
Right. It brings us to, I suppose, our final thought for you listening. When you really consider it, a nearly 50-year-old turboprop involved in what's reported as Russia's first fatal commercial air accident in several years. It kind of begs the question, doesn't it? What does this specific incident, these details together, suggest about that ongoing balance?
The balance between.
The balance between, relying on older, maybe proven aircraft designs like the An-24 and the constant, absolutely vital push for the latest modern aviation safety standards. And the robust oversight needed globally. It's maybe a powerful reminder, isn't it, about that continuous vigilance, the need for adaptation, just to keep ensuring air travel safety for everyone. Something to think about.